tradition, the 4th year for us to produce the Memorial Day Parade. This year we have new people in charge. We've got one person in charge. Our chairperson is Jerry Lewis, but she's not the Jerry Lewis comedian.
That was funny.
But you are busy though. How many kids you have?
I have 5 boys.
Wow, that's a handful right there.
Yes, ranging from age 1 to 15. So.
And then we're going to be using Connor
Yes.
for commentary on the parade this year. And Connor's a young man. He's what, 17?
No, 15.
15.
He's a big 15-year-old.
He is a big guy, I'll tell you.
But he's a history buff and he loves stuff like this, so it'll be fun.
It'll be good. He'll be able to add comment. We're going to be doing a lot of things different with the parade this year as far as our commentary goes. But you've been involved this year, and as I said before, most of the time people know that we go out and tape it. We go back. This year we had the drone cam.
Yes, it was awesome.
Thanks to Alfredo Peters.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking to him at the end of the program. But anyway, so this was so great this year, and 50 units maybe, 30 units?
Yeah, right around, I'd say between that about 40,
That's a lot.
43.
Pretty well organized.
Well, on the outside, first year coming on board, I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was going to be a year that we needed to extend grace to each other as we plan it. I say each other because we have a committee. It was not all me. It was a committee that came together and did this. And yeah, we had an application process. People weren't used to that. And we did that so that I would get to know everyone from the get-go before the parade, and it would offer a little bit more organization, and at least on our side. And paid off, I think. There were some things that we could always tweak, always could get better, but for the most part, it was pretty awesome.
As usual, you formed the parade down at Smith Park on
Yep.
Titus and Broad Street,
Broad Street.
and on the Smith Park territory as well.
Yep.
We went down a couple years ago and shot some video of the setup. I'm going, it's just crazy down there.
It's crazy. You see me in a little golf cart. I had didn't know what to expect. I knew that I'd have to be in that golf cart to get certain places at certain times when I needed to, and yeah, that was interesting. But for the most part, once people got into their zone and they just stayed there and listened and followed through, we had leaders in each zone that was assigned to each from our committee that was in each section. So they were able to answer questions and fill that gap because I couldn't be everywhere all the time. So
We managed to get you in the parade though.
yes, I didn't plan on that. The parade started on time this year, and so as we got going, I thought, okay, I need to get to the cemetery so that I'm there by the time the parade gets there. And next, I didn't want to be disrespectful and zoom past any of the military or vets, and so I was like, well, I guess we're in the parade. So we were in the parade at that point, and I just had to chuckle. My boys were, 3 of the 5 were on the golf cart with us, and my husband, of course, Scott.
Right.
I had to chuckle, and I said, okay, I see
Interest-
what y'all did there.
Interesting thing, I had not met Jerry really until today when we did the taping today for the commentary and all that for the parade. But I didn't recognize him, but Deb Morrison, there's Jerry and Scott and the kids. So that's good. That way I got to see who you were, because we set up today to do this recording. But it was a great parade. As usual, things did not always go like you wanted.
Nah.
Crazy things happen.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. Deb told me, she said, nobody else is going to know what goes wrong. And I said, well, that's good, because I made a list. But we improve on it so that it does run. I mean, there was things like gaps at certain points, things that you couldn't help. But we're going to try to tighten that up as I get to know more the process of planning and whatnot. So this is the first time I've ever planned a parade.
Come out pretty good.
I think so. I haven't heard complaints yet, except for maybe a couple things, but not as negative. It was always a positive to build bigger and better. So
The weather was really great this year because a couple years ago we had the monsoon rains.
I saw that video.
Oh,
I prayed. I was on my knees, and then we got great weather that day.
I backed up in the old Reclop store and shot the video from there. And for TV Middletown, which is not here now, they couldn't do anything because it ruined their equipment.
Oh no.
So we did the parade and got it all together, and then last year was nice, and this year was nice as well, which is great. I enjoyed that. Sitting down there, we had a lot of people stop by. We had the folks from Skate Week always stop by the camera, and
That makes it fun.
Oh, yeah, and so the bands were great this year. We've added some aerial views, which we didn't have before, and we want to thank Alfredo Peters for that.
Yes. Thanks, Alf.
I kid Alf, I says, you know, you're the young guy, you can stand up and shoot all the videos. I got to sit down now, but my thing is production, to piece all this together. So it's worked out pretty good.
Yep.
We're actually having our little thing today in, what's the name of the coffee shop?
Triple Moon Coffee.
Shop.
Everyone knows Heather.
Yeah.
She's also on the committee for the parades.
Well, I saw the name, you're right.
Yeah. So she loves the city just like we all do. Everyone on the committee is wants us to be back to that American city again, and we'll get there.
I think the mayor or the manager wants to go back, city manager wants to go back to that in 2020, so
Yep.
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I enjoy coming in here because, for me, this was the old Gallagher store. And prior to that, we were talking about before taping was Eli Candy was in this store. And your conversion in this building from a drugstore
To a coffee shop.
to a coffee shop with all the rooms, meeting room, like we're in a meeting room here, and I like the setup, it's cool.
Yeah.
Did a good job remodeling, renovating the place. So it was fun this year. We're looking forward to Independence Day.
Yes, it's going to be off the chains. Awesome.
We're probably, some other things we've been talking about we might be doing for 4th of July or Independence Day for our video coverage. So
It is on 4th of July this year.
it is on the
Yes.
4th.
They're having the fireworks and some stuff at Smith Park on July 3rd. And then the 4th will be the parade and the fishing derby at Smith Park.
Oh, wow,
So-
we got some stuff added this year.
Yeah, so
Fireworks too.
fireworks on the 3rd, and then parade on the 4th at 10, opposite direction. So we'll be coming from the cemetery down to Smith. We'll
Mhm.
do a award ceremony, and then they're going to do a fishing derby. So,
That's cool.
yeah.
A lot to look forward to.
Yes, I think it's a great opportunity too for churches and families to have family reunions
Mhm.
at Smith's. Would be awesome to see that as well.
Speaking of churches, we had a good representation of churches this year.
Yes, we have probably about a good 15 to 20 signed up so far.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to limit how many floats get put in.
Right.
5 floats per church is all we could do logistically to keep me sane.
Well, and this year I noticed too, we had the Ascension Church, which I did not see last year.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
They're a big support. I do a lot of stuff out in the city parks, and they're out at Sherman Park helping keep it cleaned up through the week.
Oh, that's cool.
They're a pretty awesome church.
I always like when churches get involved, and I saw this year when we had the Sky video going, they were throwing out candy to kids. A couple years ago they stopped that, but it's back at the other end where it's safe to do that.
Yeah.
But the kids love that.
Yeah. We weren't supposed to throw candy out, but that was my own pastor that was throwing the candy out. Oops, Wes. No, it's okay. It worked out because I went back and drove and made sure that there was stuff picked up, and everyone picked it up. So as long as we keep responsible with it,
Mhm.
it can stay moving forward. Stay responsible.
There you go.
No pagan kids. The problem, I guess, in the past has been there's been kids that run out in front of vehicles to try to get
Right.
the candy. But I think we did okay with that this year.
Looked good. Everybody was behaving themselves.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, it's been fun. We're getting ready now for the parade, which is already done. We're going to get ready, get Connor over here, and we're going to run the video so we can talk about the parade. Got all kinds of stuff to put in this year, and got some trivia I brought down.
Awesome.
And Connor's got some stuff he wants to add probably. And we have everything on the screen, so a lot of times we'll be talking, you'll just see the parade going by. That's cool, as long as you know who's there.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're going to take a little break, and then we'll switch out and move Connor over here, and then we'll get ready to do that.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Jim, for everything.
My pleasure. Appreciate it. Okay. So here's the parade now, and we're going to do this in the third take. This is a nice thing about recording. You make a mistake, you go back. But anyway, Connor Hemrick is my associate this year, and he's going to help me with the parade. And we're starting out. We have the Middletown Combined Honor Guard, and then we have veterans walking in behind that. So this is nice, and we get going with the parade. And this year we're going to add something different. It's going to be a drone cam.
The drones are real nice, mainly because you can get a nice aerial shot of who's coming or with the bands. Because there's a lot of bands. There's 3 bands this year, and 2 of them are both really big bands.
Mm-hmm. And then Middletown High School marching band, Alfredo Peters, who's our drone guy, got them. We have a picture-in-picture later on, but was a nice parade. The weather was great, and I noticed they fixed the pothole. It's been in there for 3 years, for the last 3 years. Here's our American Legion group. And of course, Lulu's in there too. She's always riding in the parade. Got to give her credit. She just stays with it. But yeah, they fixed the pothole, as you notice. We got the Poppy Queens. Not just one. We got Queens this year, it says. And they always add a little bit to the parade. We have a lot of good stuff going. We got the World War II veterans.
That's a great thing to see, because World War II was a pretty big war leading after World War I, which was, World War I wasn't the best war. It was a war of attrition, not the best.
Oh, World War II wasn't the best either. Now we have friends in Germany, but back then the Nazis were not our friends. But I have friends in Germany, and I visited Germany in 2008, 2009, 2010, and they lived in East Germany, which was under Russian rule. And my friend said to me, he says, "You don't understand our country, our culture." I says, "No, I don't, but teach me." And they told me still how poor that part of the country is compared to the West. But it was nice, you know, to be able to see places. I went to places over there and visited, but history, there's a lot of it, you know, and there's also history of the Memorial Day parades. We have a little trivia we're going to be throwing in from time to time. It's drone time.
Yeah, that's aerial shots.
Yes, that's our little drone.
Sadly, though, it only takes 25 minutes of footage, mainly because the battery is not the best. But it's 25 minutes, which is most of the parade.
Right, and then one of these days they'll increase the battery like they do everything else. You know, with video cameras, you started out with an hour battery, then they went to 2 hours, and now they do 3 hours. One of these days they'll have a 5-hour battery. But yeah, Alfredo Peters ran the drone cam, and it's just great. Adds a little something to the parade this year. And I was happy and excited to meet Alfredo. I now met Alfredo about a year ago, but we have not seen each other in a while, but we got hooked up through the parade.
And here come the Knights of Columbus, which is another great thing to see. People all really assembling to march in the Memorial Day parade, which is a great honor, you know.
Right. So that looks good. Now we got the guys that don't want to walk. They ride in the pull tractor or truck in the back. They always ride. And one guy is always there with that big white fluffy beard.
That's Santa.
That's Santa, AKA. But if he sees us, tell me who you are. And then we got
Cecil Daly.
Cecil Daly. He's the Grand Marshal. We understand he's sick right now since the parade. He fell and hurt himself. So. Then we got the Motorcycle Command Group, Social Command for the veterans.
Which is another cool thing.
They meet over at Mercy Point Church on Thursdays.
Okay. Be at Mercy Point Church on Thursdays. So you guys got cycles, you're Christian. You don't have to be a Christian, just show up
Yep.
and be
You
part
don't
of the
have
group.
to be- It's all veterans. They help them with benefits, things like that they're struggling with. PTSD. It started in one of the guys' garages with just a couple people, and then they grew so big they needed another location. So Mercy Point stepped in and is helping with that.
That's so cool.
Here come some old cars, probably really nice in their old days, but they're still really nice. Got a lot of people.
Well, here we go. We're getting a lot of the people. We see our aerodrome shot as well at the same time, which is kind of cool. You can see what's coming up. There's Dwayne Gordon. He's the master of ceremonies for the memorial services at Woodside Cemetery, which will have a separate program of that. You can find that on YouTube, or if you're watching on Facebook or whatever, you should be able to find it there. That was a good program this year.
Here comes Pastor Wesley Duff. He is the representative for the church, or one of the churches in Middletown.
Right.
He was a pastor at the cemetery.
Yeah, the cemetery.
Pastor at the cemetery.
And we got some more coming up here. Pathways Quartet. They did a great version of the national anthem. Very different, 4-part singing, and none of this hard stuff.
And then here comes soloist Jessica Romero Schaefer. Fun fact, she was actually my vocal teacher about a year ago in September.
She's also a professional singer too. She's with the Cincinnati Opera, I believe. Doing appearances with them.
And the people that just went by were Chuck Evans and Kate Moore.
Kip's an awesome singer.
Yes.
I'm not familiar with Chuck.
Chuck plays the flute.
Okay, that's the
Plays the
flute
He's involved with a lot of the bash.
And then there's Steve.
events.
Then there's Steve Conley, who plays the accordion, and Larry Mulligan.
Mulligan, yeah.
Mary Larry.
Mary Larry.
Larry Mulligan.
Now we got all the council members as they're coming by in their cars or walking like Talbot Moon is. And behind him is his car, I think. And then we have one more. We'll get into more of the trivia later because there's a lot of stuff going on. Dan Picard. So we do celebrate Memorial Day to finish up what I was saying on the last Monday in May, honoring men and women who died serving in the armed forces. Here we go. Here comes Middletown High School now. And when he took the camera up that high on the drone, I have a fear of heights. My stomach did a little flip-flop. But I'm glad it was his camera, not me. I wouldn't want to be up that high. But it gives you a pretty good bird's eye view of downtown Middletown.
Oh, yeah.
And the old stores, I remember, it used to be like, got the bike-a-thon place now. The bike place used to be Roberson's. Spoken, yeah. They serve coffee and beer, I think, too, which is kind of cool, I guess. So we got more of the Middletown High School band coming up through there, and just locked up again.
We got Middletown's truck in the back, truck and trailer. Like you were saying earlier about Germany, like after World War II, I believe my mother was there when the Berlin Wall came down.
Yeah, I was. My dad was stationed there in the Army.
Oh, was he?
And so we used to drive on the Autobahn, and they were all lined up along the highway there, and with the signs made out of sheets. And I was 8 years old, and I still remember that to this day. I remember thinking, this is something important.
Well, yeah, because I know my friends, when I was over there, it was really important to them to get out from underneath. The one friend I had, her father was sent to Siberia. And over there, they didn't allow churches. If you did, you had to go a certain direction. Otherwise, it was all communism, Marxism. And if you said the wrong thing, you went to Siberia in Russia. And her father went there, and he died later of complications from being up in Siberia. But as we go along with the parade here, now we got next, who we got?
The Middletown Police Department auditor.
Right there.
And the whole police department, including the highway patrol and the sheriff department on bikes.
And then we got more veterans and so forth going through there too at the same time. And then we got the Daughters of the American Revolution. You know, this is a lot of good organizations are in this parade and bring a lot to the parade. You know, and then with the holiday originally started back in 1868 as Decoration Day, following the American Civil War. It was celebrated on various days in the beginning. Memorial Day marks the start of the unofficial summer vacation, and Labor Day marks the unofficial end of the summer. Many people will visit cemeteries and memorials honoring those who have died in military service. We'll go back and just watch the parade and see what's going on, and we'll talk in from time to time what's happening. This is a nice thing about we put enough titles on, so if we're talking you can see what's going on in the parade. And of course, I like the idea that we had the different bands this year. We had Madison at Fenwick, which was cool. We didn't get any drone shots of that, but we got a lot of drone shots of different things. But the nice thing about the parade too this year was the weather was great.
At some point, we got caught in the parade, and we were trying to get to the cemetery as fast as possible ahead of the parade so we could do a few things, like set up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to be respectful, so we didn't really cut off any of the veterans or anyone. So we just kind of like stayed where we were, where we put in.
Yeah.
We ended up in the parade. That was not planned.
I know, you came through and go, oh, there's Jerry. She made it in the parade whether she wanted it or not, that's the thing. But yeah, the parade did a lot of things this year. Had a lot of different things, different order this year of things coming down. But we had the church segment again this year, which was cool. We had different rows or sections of the parade. So it was interesting to see that because you could see one thing all the way through and then you switch to the next. And as usual, you had some of those gaps, which happens. You can't help that.
I don't know if you can really tell here, but we had an amazing turnout with the parade. As we were going down in the golf cart, you could see like a bunch of people lined up on the side of the street.
Couldn't even see sidewalks at some portions of it.
Some portions, because we had to go back to Smith Park at one point. we had to go take basically the main roads and stuff in the golf cart to get the car that we brought.
Yeah. Well, I remember a couple years ago when I went down to one of the parades, trying to get from Smith Park for this parade, get back downtown to Central and Verity, and get set up before the parade. Luckily, it's about a mile walk or half-mile walk from Smith Park, so we had time to get over and get set up. And when the police were there, they put barricades up. I remember one year that somebody came down Central this way going east. And they went to stop it, took the barricades down, drove out, just left them down. And then a little bit later an officer showed up and then they put it back up again. I was ready to call on the phone and say, somebody just took the barricades down. But somebody pulled up about that time, so they put them back up.
Steve Reams worked closely with us on the parades. He did awesome with coordinating all that. And a number of officers helped make sure this year went great. That was very heartwarming to know that they really do care about stuff like this, that build community and to be a part of it, building community and a sense of place, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, the police were very courteous. I like when they really patrolled the streets this time to make sure nobody was there. I usually sit on the sidewalk, and then when that street's blocked, when Verity's blocked at the other end, I go and set up in the street. But I waited until I kept seeing cruisers go by. If the street's blocked, they're just making sure nobody's on the street. So we moved out and enjoyed, just waiting for the parade to start. All right, it's trivia time. In 1906, the Richmond Times-Dispatch claimed that Warrenton, Virginia, was the first location for decorating war soldiers' graves. And that date was June 3rd, 1861. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania was also claimed a place for the decoration of soldiers' graves in 1863. In addition, historians in Boalsburg, Pennsylvania claim that their ladies decorated graves on July 4th, 1864. And that city promotes itself as the birthplace of Memorial Day. People lay and put flowers on graves, renewing contacts with relatives and others. There is a religious service and a picnic-like dinner on the grounds. It is thought that this practice, which began before the American Civil War, may reflect the real origin of the Memorial Day idea. And more trivia now. The practice of decorating soldiers' graves is an ancient custom in the U.S. before and during the American Civil War and following the assassination of President Lincoln in April of 1865. The sheer numbers of soldiers who died in the Civil War on both sides were more than 600,000. In 1865, the federal government began creating national military cemeteries for the Union war dead. As to the actual date, there has been a lively debate as to the official birthplace of Memorial Day. President Lyndon Johnson signed a presidential proclamation on May 26, 1966, naming Waterloo, New York, as the official city where it all began. The 89th Congress officially recognized that Memorial Day began 100 years prior in Waterloo.
I believe at some point we had Skate Day come through, and one of the people, both of the mascots that they had,
It's like a dinosaur.
it's like a dinosaur bee thing.
Yeah, Michael Crawl, yeah.
And then we had a minion with the camera at one point, and that's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's Buddy Rawl, which is the nephew of Linda Rawl, owns Gateway. But they always stop by and say hi to us, which is great. I enjoy that. They always put on a little show. Mike was crazy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, but he's crazy.
Yeah.
He knows how to, treat people and have fun and all that. And that's the important thing. And then, of course, our break dancer. I can't see how Justin does that without falling and breaking a leg.
Oh,
I
come
can't
on, you
even-
can try.
I can't even
Sure,
roll.
why not?
Jim, go ahead, try.
Jump right up there and do it. There we go. We'll call Justin out to help me out when I pick me up off the floor. But yeah, that was great. And Linda Rawls, Ruth's always great. It's great. They have fun. Then we had Joseph Legacy, which
It's a pet rescue organization, and it's really cool to see all these dogs and stuff that they have.
They do a lot of fundraisers up at Combs Barbecue to raise funds for their organization. They foster the dogs, they get them rehabilitated, and they get them with an owner that's going to love on them.
Forever Home.
Yes.
Man, I remember when Combs Barbecue had just opened. I remember the opening day of that. What was it?
Chow down,
Yeah.
ate and ate and ate until you were full. Joseph Legacy, which is a rescue unit. We had the Mice Mask. Try that again. Madison High School band come through, and then they had their truck and trailer. And of course, the American Red Cross is always there to help out, especially when there's a lot of disasters.
There's a lot of churches in this parade this year. I'm pretty sure more than last year.
I think so. Some was there last year, but not here this year.
Church of the Ascension.
Who's new? That's new this year. And of course, Unity Baptist Church had Stop and Think ever done on Trenton Franklin Road or Trenton Road in Trenton, Ohio. So we had a lot of churches in, which is good. We like to see that.
Real Church was very much a part of the parade. Pastor Duff is from Rio, and so is the Pathways Quartet.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So they were very much a part of it.
About 2 weeks we'll have this on YouTube. I got to do all the production and everything in yet. Just look on Memorial Day Parade in Middletown. Give it about 2 weeks.
Good morning. Good morning.
Memorial Day is not to be confused with Veterans Day. They are two different days altogether. Memorial Day remembers the men and women who died while serving, excuse me, and Veterans Day celebrates the service of all U.S. military veterans. And the noise you hear in the background, our kids were using the back office of the Triple Moon Coffee Shop on Central, where the old Gallagher's used to be, for those of you who are about my age. You remember where that is, across from the old John Ross store. But it's kind of noisy, but that's okay. The kids are having fun in the other room. That's the important thing.
Sounds like my house.
Oh, is that true? That's right, you got 5.
Sounds like our house.
It's pretty crazy having 4 younger brothers.
Ooh.
My little brother just recently had his birthday.
We had 15, 10 and 11-year-olds at our house. That was an adventure.
And they were up till 4:30 in the morning, making a bunch of noise and stuff. Some of them up longer.
Oh well, you tired out after a while.
Yeah.
You gave it up. More on our history. In 1868, the Commander-in-Chief of the Grand Army, John Logan, issued a proclamation calling for Decoration Day. The holiday would be observed annually nationwide for the first time on May 30th. How was that date chosen? It was not the anniversary of any particular battle. The White House, at the same time, said May 30th was chosen as the optional date for flowers to be in bloom. Now, Buckeyes will be happy to hear this. Ironton, Ohio claims to be the nation's oldest community with a continuing running of a Memorial Day parade. The first parade was held on May 5th, 1868. Yay for the Buckeyes. Now, at Gettysburg, the ceremonies and Memorial Day dress at the Gettysburg National Park became nationally well known starting in 1868. In July 1913, veterans of the U.S. and Confederate armies gathered at Gettysburg to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Civil War's bloodiest and most famous battle. The Blue Grade reunion featured parades, reenactments, and speeches. President Woodrow Wilson was one of the speakers. Now let's look at the name and date. Decoration Day did not become the common name Memorial Day until after World War II. Federal law in 1967 changed the name officially to Memorial Day. In 1868, Congress passed the Uniform Monday Holiday Act. That moved 4 holidays, including Memorial Day, from their traditional dates to a specified Monday. This created a convenient 3-day weekend.
So you have a bunch of old cars, classic cars, really nice too, in the parade. Like, I was pretty shocked because I helped get people into their spaces. And I saw all these old cars and I'm like, wow, this is really good to see. You don't normally see a lot of those cars except at maybe car shows and things. But,
I like the name of the group, Pacemaker. Is that a pacemaker in your heart? Yeah, classic
Oh,
car.
I didn't realize. Okay, I didn't realize that. You say that, I'm like, okay, that makes sense now.
So I just thought, okay, this is cool, and then they always have one. And I like the one car's got the little flugelhorn on it, I guess.
yeah.
And always makes that weird noise. But you know, it's also we had Rebirth Ministries. I forgot Rebirth Global Ministries was in there too.
Before the parade, I said hi. He's a great resource officer. Everybody really respects him.
You go to Madison.
Yeah, I go to Madison. It's a great place.
Remember when Madison High School came into effect? All the kids went to Middletown High School. Then there was this big thing, oh, I want to finish at Middletown, but no, you live in the Madison School District now. So there was a closeness between the two schools, and it turned into a rivalry later on, I think. And, but Madison has come a long way since those early days. But yeah, there was a little rivalry between the two because the kids were at Middletown, they didn't want to go to Madison. But they had no choice because the school was ready and it was time to move on to a new school. But yeah.
Because I believe there was an old post town Madison. Madison was an old post town school.
And I don't remember.
The post town school, and they rebuilt it over where it is now.
My history teacher, I found this really cool. He had a podium. He has a podium from my 8th grade history teacher. Had a podium from that school, right?
Right.
Original?
Yeah, the original. He had an original podium, and it had big red letters of Madison on it. Of course, in the old-fashioned style of it. It was actually made in the wood shop at that school.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a really cool thing to see. A great piece of history.
Collector's item.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat. I'm not that familiar with the Madison School out in Posttown, but a lot of things about this town I don't know, but a lot of things I do remember since I've been around a couple of days.
I believe Madison, the Post Town School, was established in 1887.
Wow.
And it's been around ever since. Madison's gotten bigger. The elementary school being part of the high school, where the high school, there used to be an old elementary school that was on the same high school campus, right? But they tore that down a while back and put the elementary school attached to the high school as well. And now all that's left of the old elementary school is what we call the field house, which is the old elementary gym.
Interesting. I know in Madison, Poasttown, our church had a missionary church out there about 50 years ago. It's not there now. It was just a Poasttown, aka Calvary Baptist Church satellite, which is kind of cool because then over the years things changed and other churches developed out there, which is cool. Well, that pretty well covers, I think, everything we're going to do today on the parade. We lost our video, so like the big boys, we just pick it up and wing it and run. Excuse me. I'm glad Connor is here today to help out. Mom is over there. Jerry's over there putting in some information from time to time. So we will be back in a little bit. We're going to talk to Alfredo Peters, who is our drone cam guy. Yay! And we'll talk about technology at the end of the parade and the things that we do with technology, how to get a hold of Alfredo or how to get a hold of me or whatever. But stay tuned. We're going to go join the parade, join Alfredo in just a minute. I got to figure what time zone I'm in, folks. But you know, I love this because I always say on all these programs, it's the same thing as live TV. You make a mistake, you just pick it up and run with it. That's all you can do. So stay tuned for our talk with Alfredo, and then we will see you later. Bye. Hi, we're back. Alfredo Peters was a little under the weather for our closing to the parade this year. I want to thank Alfredo for the addition of the drone cam for the parade and memorial service coverage. It was a great asset, giving us a different visual perspective of the parade. Now here is a photo of Alfredo and I where we were situated to cover the parade in downtown Middletown. Also there are photos of the drone cam. You know, the clarity and quality of the drone video is just outstanding. Technology has come a long way. Now the battery only has a 25-minute limitation, but in time the battery's times will get longer and longer. Like with the hand cameras, they start out with an hour and then they're up now to 5 hours for the video and audio. But now, for those of you who don't know, this is how the cam works, the drone cam. It is operated by your cell phone. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know this. A lot of you techies out there would know that, and a lot of people don't know. The video you see on the screen and the directions right, left, up, and down isn't controlled by the cell phone with the app, of course. Now, we'll give you a little info about Alfredo Peters. Great guy. I met him about a year ago. He is a freelance videographer and cinematographer. He produces and directs videos for events of companies and organizations in the community and throughout the area. Now, let's take a look at little close excerpts of some product that Alfredo produced.
Veracruz Bar and Grill has the best authentic Mexican food in town. For a limited time, receive a free delicious appetizer just for sharing this post. Enjoy affordable lunch specials and endless flavors of margaritas. Like and share now to get your unique code at Veracruz.
ain't about to sit in my favorite seat, cuz.
When I look into your eyes, it's like watching the night sky or a beautiful sunrise. Well, there's so much they hold, and just like them old stars, I see that you've come so far to be right where you are. How old is your soul?
No, my arm's awkward. You bring your face a little. I met him 6 years ago at a mutual friend's house, and we had basically met there, and then he got my number that night, and the rest was kind of history. He messaged me, and we started talking and dating, and then he asked me to be his girlfriend.
How do I fit in this picture? My main thing is video post-production. My experience includes producing infomercials. You'll see a sample for the film Easy Rider, The Ride Back. This was a 2012 prequel to the original 1969 film called Easy Rider, and many people know about that film. The Ride Back stars Sherry J. Wilson and Phil Pitzer. The production company provided the digital files with directions and what to do. Now, only a short segment of the infomercial is shown. Now, Vacation Bible School at Calvary Baptist Church was an interesting challenge with a 3-camera operation, blending all cameras into a smooth video production. In 2013, I produced a documentary on the Sorg Mansion, the Grand Dame of Middletown, with a look at the Sorg and the Finkelman families. The 30-minute program is available at Amazon.com. That was a fun project since I lived on the Sorg Mansion property as a teenager. My father, Howard Witt, owned a dry cleaning plant and business. It was in the old carriage house at the rear of the property.
My name is Morgan Williams. I had a brother, Wyatt. He had this nickname, Captain America.
Yes. We just appreciate y'all so much being out here. Sharia, you've got a partner here in crime, it looks like.
Yes, I do. And this is Philip Pitzer. He and I are both producers on the film, and he also plays Peter Fonda's brother. Morgan is his character. And Phil, why don't you explain the significance of these beautiful flags and the importance in our film?
Well, the reason it's so appropriate to be standing here in front of these flags, flags of honor, is because our film addresses that. We have a patriarch of the family in terms of Peter's family, and his father was a motorcycle rider, motorcycle scout for George Blood and Gut Patton's Third Army in North Africa, and we see him get blown off his motorcycle in World War II.
A Bible, all right. How cool's that? That's great, isn't it? It's yours, isn't it? All right.
Famous wilderness guide. I have my checklist, and I'm looking for William.
The Grande Dame of Middletown is a beautiful lady at age 125. She sits vacant now with many great memories of days gone by, the elegant meetings and parties. The Sorg House now is known as the Sorg Mansion at 206 South Main Street. It's the story of Paul John Sorg and Sam Finkelman families, starting back in 1840. The Sorg family immigrated from Germany, and the Finkelman family came from Russia. This is a history of how two families who came to the United States to live the American dream and became entrepreneurs. Now we have a third generation of owners and caretakers of the Grande Dame of Middletown. Mark and Tracy Barnett from Baltimore, Maryland bought the mansion on September 25th, 2013. They plan to retire here. And I, a small part of this report, lived on the Sorg Mansion property as a teenager. My father had a dry cleaning plant on the left side of the old carriage house at the rear of the property. We lived in the apartment above the business. More on that later. You know, good freelance video work by Alfredo Peters, and we do the post-production work. So hopefully we can be of service to the people in the community. Alfredo's a young guy, he can run all over the place. I'm an older guy, and I'd like to sit down and do the post-production instead of running all the time. My legs don't hold up like they used to, but that all happens when you get more mature, right? There you go. I want to thank you for joining us this year for the Memorial Day Parade and services. We'll see you for the 4th of July for the parade and the different activities. Have a great day. See you later.